Hey guys, so today is October 15th. I'm so awkward. Hey guys, so today's October 15th. It is our 4-year anniversary, and for our 4-year anniversary, we're gonna be Hey guys, so for our 4-year anniversary, we're doing a couple Q&A. I asked you guys to send in your questions on Snapchat and Instagram, and you guys did, so we're picking a few from there. There's going to be 2 parts to this video. One part is going to be on my channel, and part 2 is going to be on his channel. The link to that will be down below. The link to that will be down below in the description box, so check that out. And without further ado, let's get started. What was your favorite day with him? Okay, now, out of 4 years to pick one day, that's very hard. I think my favorite day with him would have had to be sometime when we were traveling. Probably?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like either in Hawaii, like when it was just like not even spending money in Hawaii because we spent enough money to go to Hawaii, but like when we were just like exploring and like picking fruits up off the ground and eating them right off the ground because you can do that in Hawaii, by the way. Or North Carolina, walking around looking at the leaves, or
I'd say Hawaii because like the whole experience, like it was our first time like going far together and like spending like 7 days in a hotel room together. So like I would say that was it.
Yeah, I think that was one of those days is my favorite day.
Who was the first one to say I love you? And that was me. Hello.
Yeah,
the guy actually said it first. It wasn't like I love you. Like no, it was more like hey, like I genuinely love you.
And that was the first week of us dating.
Second week.
Second week?
No, we talked beforehand and we spent a good amount of time together beforehand. Like things fell together.
Said that, but whatever. I don't really think that there's a specific time to say I love you because, you know, some people say like, you know, like around 6 months is when you say I love you, or like, it has to happen within the first like month or so. Like, no, it happens to everybody differently. You know, you can't really rush that feeling because if you do, then it's not natural. Which one can squat more? That's a joke. I hate squatting, number 1. Number 2, I can squat my body weight like 3 times, and like the 3rd time he has to help me. So just how much can you squat?
I can squat 405.
How many times?
My off season last year, I squatted every 2. That was 194.
Biggest pet peeves about each other?
I had to really think about this one, but because I don't really have a pet peeve for her.
Oh, I have 2 on the top of my head ready. You sleep with your mouth open. And occasionally chews with his mouth open.
Alright, first
and those
off,
are the 2. And he snores.
First
Okay, 3.
off, I don't snore.
Snore.
It's like, if I sleep, okay, so 5 days out of the week I snore like 2. But, go back to the first thing, is yes, I do sleep with my mouth open. It's like 50-50. Some nights I will, and some nights I don't. Last night, I slept with my mouth shut. And
Well, because I have to remind him, like, if he's like, if he's about to fall asleep with his mouth open, I'm like, Michael, shut your mouth. Yes. And then if he falls asleep with his mouth shut, the rest of the night he's fine. But like.
And then the whole chewing with your mouth open, like it's not like I'm like eating. No. What's the hardest part you had to go through in 4 years? And happy 4 years. So thank you for saying that.
The hardest part, I would say, is when Michael had to go up north to New York for a baseball scholarship. And even though that lasted for like 2 weeks, right?
Well, it lasted for a month.
It lasted for a month?
I was up there for a month.
Really? Oh man, looking back, it seems like it was...
I lasted at school for 2 days, but that'll be another video.
For 2 days. Yeah, but he's gonna be making a video all about his struggles and how life just freaking hates him.
Steps on me.
But yeah, like even though it didn't last as long as it could have, it was still very hard because I thought it was going to be long. So I was like a drama queen. I was like freaking out. I was upset.
Yeah,
and that was 2 years of us dating.
We both were. I mean, it wasn't like I was like, oh shit, I'm happy.
No, of course, yeah. I'm just saying, like in general. What's your favorite thing about one another?
What's my favorite thing? You want to go first or me go first?
You can go first.
Alright, so my favorite thing about Elizabeth, is just like the type of person she is and like her heart. Like it's funny because like she's like my other half and I'm completely her other half. So, like she's my soft like feelings and like loving side. Like we balance each other out, and I would just say like the type of person she like helped me become would be like my favorite thing about her. Just like her loving.
Okay, well, I would say my favorite thing about you. Well, I thought we were talking about appearances for a second, so.
Okay, so like my favorite thing about her as far as like her physical appearance, I told her recently a story about when I first saw her, and it's definitely like this might sound weird to you guys, but it's like her nose, and her eyes basically. But like I told her a story like in high school, like how I like the first time I saw her, and like the first thing like that like attracted me to her was her face, and it's a weird story. It may sound weird to you guys, but it was definitely like her nose and her eyes. But.
And see, that's the thing I hate about myself the most is my nose. I hate my nose. My favorite thing would have to be, appearance-wise, it's his smile. He doesn't like his smile, but I love it. It's so goofy and cute at the same time. Like, it's the cutest thing ever. I love it. And then, let's say, personality-wise, I don't know. I think I'm gonna steal yours and say that it's how you're like the complete opposite of me, but like it balances me rather than, you know, like complete opposites can work and they cannot. But with this case, it works because, for example, like when I first started dating him, like he showed me all this stuff I didn't know. Like let's just say this: I'm book smart, I'm more book smart, and he's more street smart. So like when we came together, I showed him things that he didn't know or that he never experienced before, and he showed me things that I never experienced before.
Good and bad.
Good and bad, honestly. But it's fun, you know? I mean, it's kind of like helped us like grow more. You know what I'm saying? Like blossom.
How do you guys deal with arguments?
Okay, well, with arguments, let's just start in the beginning of our relationship because like now it's completely different because we're more mature, stuff like this. But when we first started dating, we would break up like 2-3 times a week, right? And like we'd break up, like it'd be so dramatic, and then like an hour later we'd get back together. But it's like
by the time I made it home.
Yeah, but like we used to break up all the time and just be so dramatic about it. I don't know if it was fun to us back then. I don't know why we did that.
I didn't think it was fun.
Yeah, it was. I don't understand either. But so we deal with our arguments like that back then. We just completely blow it out of proportion and get mad at each other and all this stuff. Now, it depends. We don't really argue about serious stuff anymore like we used to in the beginning of our relationship. Kind of just because we already know what the other will tolerate, will not tolerate, what the other likes and doesn't like, you know, and, you know, since we care about each other, we take that into consideration before doing anything. I would say,
and like
how we deal with it now is that...
If we get upset, like, at each other now, like usually I'll try to, like leave her alone for a second.
Yeah,
and,
because I just need space when I'm mad.
Like, I'll just leave the room and, like, give it, like, 10 minutes and I'll just come back and then, like, we're both calmed down and we'll talk.
Because,
but it's not like we get mad at each other, like, I don't know, we don't, like, ooh, like...
throw stuff
yeah.
in. I don't know. Like, I feel like, especially since we're both really strong personalities, like, I'm Russian, I get mad very, like, when I get mad. And Michael's Italian, so that's another strong personality. So I think that when we get angry, it's very important to give each other space to calm down, because when you're angry, you can say stuff that you don't necessarily mean. This is a question that we've gotten a lot. Have we thought about marriage? Even though we've talked about it, it's kind of like not in the near future as it is in the future. Like, we understand that, like, it is bound to happen, obviously, if we continue our relationship. But, like, right now, I'm 20, he's 21. Even though couples do get married at this time, we're not even living together yet. I would like to see how we would be, you know, in an apartment together, in a house together, you know, see where that takes us rather than get married, realize that we suck living together, you know.
Yeah.
Even though we have spent time together, like weeks together at like a hotel, it's still not real world, real problems, so you don't really know how you deal with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it, we've fantasized about it, you know, all that cute talk, but I don't, you know, like, I see it happening, but not in the near future, just because of life right now.
And I'm not, like, we've been dating for 4 years. 2 of those years, guys, we were in high school.
Yeah.
Like, we were, like, I was 18, she was 17.
It's not like one of us wants to get married and the other one's like,
oh.
No. It's more like we both understand, like, we are both, like, at the same level.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, we're not itching to do it, but we're not, like, saying, no, that's never gonna happen, you know? It's just, like, I don't know, it's like, it's just in the future, you know? It's nothing that we're gonna rush. Can you share a picture of the two of you when you first started dating? Actually, I'll share a couple right now.
All I can think about is coming over. Isn't it
And that's going to be the end of this part 1 Q&A. Part 2 is going to be on his channel. It's going to be down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day with Michael now, and I'll see you guys next week.